Hi everybody, it's Kayla, and welcome back to Fixer Upper. So today we are attempting to renovate this house. Oh god, what's she called? Oh, hang on. Not prepared. Umbrage Manor. Oh boy. Anyway, this is my, I think, favorite house in the base game from the outside. The inside, god-awful. Outside is fine. But yeah, the inside, not so great. But when you look at her from out here, she's pretty cute. And today we are going to attempt to fix her up. And so we're going to do, of course, our usual tour. When you first walk up to the house, you walk in and you find beautiful entryway with just, boom, stairs and big empty room. And long empty hallway. And oh look, a chess table. And then there's like a bathroom in here. Kind of dark in there, that's icky. Over here we have a nice, beautiful dining room. I hate the walls. They're bright red. But in here we have the kitchen. She's really weird and skinny. I hate this floor plan so much. Like, why is it like this? Super nice house, tiny, awful kitchen. Why? Makes no sense. And then back around over here we have the living room. Beautiful big room. I dislike the placement of these paintings. Like, why are they so close to the curtains? You know, it's the little things that bother me, and that bothers me a lot. And then you go upstairs, and you find big, empty hallway again. We got over here the master bedroom, probably. I think there's no ensuite in this, so I'm not actually sure. We got a kid's room over here, and then one more bedroom over here, possibly the master, although this one's cheaper, so I bet the other one's the master. And then in here we have the hall bathroom, and that is the entire place. Backyard, we got some beautiful big balconies and stuff. A table but no chairs, you know. And that's the whole thing. So she's pretty cute. Big empty house. Look at the floor plan though. Like, why? And the color choices, I just don't understand, you know? So we're gonna try and fix her today, but with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and jump right on in to the renovation. Okay, so we are back and we are fixer-uppering this house. That is right, you guys. It's my favorite time of the week. You know, I've done now 101 fixer-uppers. That's too much. Too much. Also, last week I had this whole meme about blue Suburbans, and how, like, I made that, you know, you saw the episode, surely, the blue Suburban one, for the 100th episode special, and here we are, the week after, doing a blue Suburban. However, this isn't by choice. I have to do this one because in my Black Widow challenge, I am currently renovating every single house in The Sims 4, not as a lie. So in that challenge, she has to marry 10 people and then kill them and live in their house and, you know, Black Widow challenge stuff. And I'm doing townies, and so I've moved into this house now, and I need to renovate it for her. So this is my actually second to last one, although technically the next house she has is going to be the goth house, and I've already renovated the goth house, but I think I'm going to do it again. So this will be the last Black Widow renovation after, well, and next one for a long time. We're finally there. I've done like almost 50 episodes of that series now. It's actually a very good series. I am not complaining. I think she's a very good one. I have fun playing it. But I am a little bit ready for it to be over because it's been like a year, you know, well, not quite, but almost. And so I'm, snip snap, let's go Phoebe, get married faster, you know? But yeah, we're getting close to the end of that one. If you want to check it out, I'll have it linked down below. It's actually pretty fun. However, it's a long series, I know. But you can probably jump in the middle and be okay, if I'm being honest. It's not like there's much eventful things happening in there. But yeah, check her out. And I've got some stories for you guys today. I'm going to complain for a second about airports because, let's be real, we all kind of love these, you know? Like, I personally love airport stories. And I usually don't complain about airports that much because I feel like, you know, I've been to a fair few of them, but like my trip back from the UK 2 weeks ago, oh my god, like that day of travel was one of the worst things I've ever experienced. And so I'm gonna just complain about it for a second because that was a long day, first of all. So I didn't have a direct flight back. So I got to the airport. Let's back up. Let's explain the whole time. All right, because this like travel experience was not so fun. So I was up with Hatsy, near Birmingham, all right? And so I had to come back from her house closer to London. I was flying out of Heathrow, and Steph lives kind of near London, thereabouts, closer than Hasty does. And so what we did is we took a train back from Hasty's together to Steph's house, stayed the night there, but we didn't get back until like after midnight that night. But it was the next day. And so in the morning we get up, and then we both take an Uber to the airport from Steph's house. And she came with me because, like, you know, pals, true pals, and she was like gonna get a bus back. It was gonna be a whole thing. But we get there, we're gonna go like get food and stuff in the airport before I had to leave. Get to the airport. We left Steph's at like 10. Get to the airport probably around 11. Check in and stuff. Maybe less than that. Maybe like 10:30. I don't remember. It's all a blur. But I left Steph's at 10 o'clock. Okay, in the morning, that's UK time, 10 o'clock. Okay, let's clarify, 10 a.m. That's 6 a.m. for me at home at this point, because there was a weird clock thing going on where like time had changed in the US and 4 hour difference, whole thing. But yeah, 6 a.m. at home, okay? Keep that in mind for when I get back. You'll learn how long the travel day was, okay? And so we went to the airport, had a great time, talked for a little bit. I checked in, you know, whatever. I leave around like 11:15 to go like board go like through security and stuff. Get there, security's fine at Heathrow, easy peasy, like not really long lines, it was great. Get there, you know, grab some snacks in the airport, walked around a little bit, looked around, had a great time, everything was fine. Go to my gate, it was fine. Like, boarded the plane, it was fine. And then I waited on that plane after boarding it for like 2.5 hours, okay, before it took off. Because if you didn't know, it was cold in the UK. That's a funny meme because these British people, no offense, but all my friends are always like, oh my god, it's so cold, it's snowing, and they like make this huge deal out of it. If you've seen them, they talk about the weather all the time. No offense, guys, we love you, but like, you talk about the weather so much. So there's like this meme that I talk about where I'm like, oh, did you know that it's snowing in the UK? It was actually snowing in the UK that day, of all the times. But yeah, there was like ice on the runway or something, so the plane had to be, you know, they have that like defrosting stuff for the plane, when they like spray the plane down. I guess the truck ran out of it, and so they had to get a new one, and so there was that issue, and then there was like ice on the runway, so they were like, oh, we gotta wait until later, and so I sat on that plane before it took off for 2.5 hours, and then it was an 8-hour flight to Detroit. Okay? So that's, mind you, 10.5 hours just on this one plane. Then I get to Detroit, and because US border security is such a dumb mess, because I had a connecting flight from Detroit, right? I had to get off the plane, go through customs in Detroit, like leave the airport basically, like go exit the insecurity stuff, like pick up my checked bag, okay, after customs, and then I had to go back and then recheck into my flight, like leave again, recheck my bag, and re-go through security as if I was just getting to the airport, and then go to my gate in Detroit, okay? Oh my god. And my flight left at like 9 p.m. Detroit time, or around that, I don't remember exactly, but like the fact that I had to leave, like I was already through security and everything, I had to get off the plane, leave, and then re-go back through. I had to like pick up my checked bag and stuff, and I had a connecting flight to make. Like I had to go wait at the baggage carousel thing, pick up my checked bag, and then recheck it. Why? That is so dumb. And they were on the plane, they were like, yeah guys, by the way, you have to do this, we're not gonna move it for you, you gotta do it yourselves. Like, I just don't understand. I get that it's like a US border security thing, but like, oh my god. And I was so worried about missing my flight and stuff. I didn't, I was fine, I got on the plane just fine. And the flight from Detroit was super empty and stuff, so it wasn't a big deal. But, oh my god, just the fact that I had to get off the plane and then re-go through security. And then picture, because everyone in the airport, like, people that were doing the same thing as me, they were like going through lines together to get back in, because a lot of them had connecting flights too. People buy things in the airport and have it like in their carry-on bags. So people, like this woman that was in front of me in line to go through security again, she had bought like a bunch of jam or something in the airport, and they're like, yeah, you can't bring this on the plane. And she was like, but I bought it in the airport. And they were like, yeah, but it's a liquid and it's bigger than whatever, so you can't have it in your bag, like you have to throw it away. And so she bought all this jam and she had to throw it all away, and she was like yelling at the security guard. It was a whole thing. But yeah, I didn't have anything on me, like, so it wasn't a big deal, but like this woman was very upset. But that's the thing, like, you don't expect you're gonna have to re-go through security like that. So people buy things in the airport, and usually if you buy, like, water in the airport, or, like, jam, or, I don't know, any like, you can buy things in the airport, bring it on the plane, then you just can't bring in liquids from home through the security, because that's how it works. But when you buy it in the airport, you think you're fine, until you got a connecting flight in Detroit, and you can't bring it through. Yeah, I've only ever been to Detroit once, and that was my experience in Detroit. Also, the airport, it was kind of late at night, so it was, like, deserted, and it was very empty and weird, and I didn't like it very much. But, so, like, the lines weren't bad to re-go through security, it's just, like, the fact that I had to do it in the first place, and the baggage thing, like, waiting for my bag took a long time, and that was ridiculous. And I'm, like, sitting there, like, freaking out, like, texting my mom, like, what if I miss my flight? Oh my god, I'm gonna get stuck in Detroit. Because at this point, it was, like, after 8 o'clock, there wasn't going to be another flight to Orlando until the next day, you know, and, like, what was I going to do in the airport in Detroit? Oh my god. But yeah, it was fine. I got on the plane just fine. We were fine. Everything's fine. Wow, we love a good airport story, though, but then I get on the plane, right? And I have this issue with flights to Orlando always, because Orlando, like flights to Orlando are always Disney people. Like anything to do with Orlando and the airport, there's always the Disney people. And you know what I'm talking about? Like these tourists that have like 3-year-olds that are going to Disney and they all have like their Mickey Mouse ears on. No matter if you're coming to or from, they all have Mickey Mouse ears. And like Disney kids, like kids on planes, you know, they're kids on planes. And so I get onto the plane, and then like after me comes this woman and she's got like this little army of 3 screaming kids, and they were all screaming, and I was very worried they were gonna like scream the whole time on the plane, but they didn't scream the whole time. Well, I did fall asleep actually. I never sleep on planes, but at this point it was like 9 p.m. Eastern time, which is so late UK time, and so I was exhausted, and I didn't end up getting home. Like the plane landed in Orlando at like 12:30 or so, I think, and then I had to go get my bag and stuff. Luckily, didn't have to go through customs or anything in Orlando because I already did it in Detroit. It was just like a domestic flight. So I just like got off the plane, went and got my bag and stuff. My dad picked me up. But by the time I got home, like I went straight back to my dorm room. He dropped me off here. It was like 2 a.m. Eastern time. Mind you, I left at 10 a.m. UK time. Okay, so that's from 6 a.m. Eastern time to 2 a.m. Eastern time was my travel day, and I was so tired and so miserable, and I was jet lagged and just, oh my god, because at that point it was 6 a.m. UK time when I got back, so like from 10 a.m. to 6 a.m. I was out. Yeah, so I was pretty tired, and then I thought that I would fix my sleep schedule, but not really. Like I woke up at 7 a.m. the next day, and then I was like, no, and I fell back asleep until like 8, but then I got up, because God, but I'm fine now. It's been like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, well, a week and a half. We're good. We're back on my dumb 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. sleep schedule. God knows why. I thought I would fix it by going to the UK and having like this time difference, but it didn't work. I'm still a mess, but we're fine, and now we're just sitting here telling stories. Also, my Premiere crashed in the middle of this situation, and now I'm still just talking. Can't see what's happening in the build, but I got to rant about airports for 10 minutes, and that just made my whole day, let me tell you. I don't have any, like, to be fair, though, I think people have a lot worse airport nightmare stories. Like, there was the one time that I missed my flight. Oh, want to hear that story? This is, I think, my worst one. I don't have any other bad ones other than, like, this is just, a nuisance kind of day. You know, like, it wasn't actually that bad. It just was, I was so tired, and it was so inconvenient. It was such a long day. But, like, one time, I was coming back from Sims camp the first year, so this is, like, 2 years ago now, from San Francisco to Orlando. And I somehow, this is all my bad, I missed my flight. And so, I had my flight, it was, like, 1 p.m., San Francisco time, and I missed it, and I couldn't get another flight until like 10 p.m. there, and so I was just in the airport, and it was a connecting flight to Texas, okay, and so I sat in the airport from 1 p.m., well, I got there at like 11 a.m., still missed my flight because I was sitting in the airport. I don't want to talk about it. It was really dumb. I don't want to, because I had in my head, like, I knew when it took off, and I was like, okay, I have to be there at like 1, but it boarded at 12:30, and so I went there at 1, and then I was like, oh, yikes. Missed my flight. So yeah, that happened. I don't want to talk about it. It was stupid, Kayla, stupid. It was 2 years ago, I'm fine now. But yeah, so that happened. But I ended up having to sit in the airport from like 11 a.m. probably until 10 p.m. when it took off. It was supposed to leave at like 8 something, but then it got delayed 2 hours. And so I just sat in the airport from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. doing nothing. I had my laptop, luckily, and I sat there and I had like some homework I could do. So I did some homework and I watched Stranger Things. All of season 1 of Stranger Things in the airport that day. And that's how you know it was bad, when you watch an entire season of Stranger Things. I think, well, no, that's not true. I think I got like up to the last 2. How many episodes were in that season? I don't know. I watched almost the entire season of Stranger Things in the airport. So again, it wasn't even that bad. Like, I had my laptop, so I was fine. It just, like, the fact that I was stuck there. And also, yeah, God, I was worried I was going to get stuck in San Francisco another night. And then, again, this time at Sims Camp, when I was coming back, that hurricane was coming to Florida, right when I was leaving, and so I was flying back into the airport, the day before it was supposed to close because of the hurricane, and so I was worried that I was gonna, like, have a weird flight situation and then, like, get stuck in San Francisco until the airports reopened after the hurricane, and that would have been bad, because, like, I would be stuck alone in San Francisco for, like, God knows how long, because when can you get back, you know, like, what's the airport gonna be like if there's a hurricane going on, so I was worried about that, but I ended up getting back just fine. That flight was deserted coming back from San Francisco because of the hurricane. Because no one's coming to Orlando when there's a hurricane coming. Everyone's trying to leave, and so no one's coming back. Like that flight was empty. Like I had the last row. I was in seat like 30 something, but I had that entire row, and the 3 in front of me were all empty. Like, so there's like 3 seats in like 3, so there's like 6. The like last 18 seats, not a single person was in them. How insane is that? But yeah, the crazy flight. That was not bad though. And also that flight, I bought Wi-Fi on that plane, and they didn't block HBO on the Wi-Fi. Usually plane Wi-Fi, you can't like stream Netflix or YouTube or anything, but they didn't block HBO, and so I watched Game of Thrones on my laptop on that flight. Oh, good times. Good times. I was very worried about that one though, that was a nightmare plane too, because I boarded that plane to come back. We boarded the plane, all of us did, and then after we all boarded, again, I was in the last row, so like everyone had boarded basically before I did, because I was in the last row. Awful seat to have, let me tell you. Anyway, so everyone had boarded, and then they come on the speakers and they're like, yeah, we're gonna have to ask you to deplane because we don't have any captains. I guess they're like the captain or the pilot, captain, oh my god. You know what I mean, we don't have any pilots, because they had gotten stuck in Vegas because of some storm or something, and so the pilots weren't in the airport. They didn't have a pilot to pilot the plane, and so we had to get off the plane, wait like an hour and a half for them to like take a private jet or a bus or something, like some weird way of like these pilots getting to San Francisco. It wouldn't have been a bus. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Maybe they had to bus in somebody else. I don't remember. But there was like a weird, like, someone's got to come from far away to pilot this plane. We had to like wait an hour and a half and then reboard the plane and then go. And so at that point, I was worried, like, how long am I going to be here for? Because if I keep pushing it, they're going to close the airport in Orlando because there's a hurricane coming and I'm going to get stuck here. And it was just very stressful. But I ended up getting back and we were just fine. So lesson learned, I hate San Francisco airport and I hate Detroit airport. And that's, yeah. So if you can avoid those, feel free. They're very nice airports. I've just had bad experiences there. Everywhere else is fine, but those two, just this one time in Detroit, I'm like now bitter about it. I think the San Francisco thing is justified though, because those are 2 very stressful situations to be in. Especially like the first time when I missed my flight and I was like 17 and hadn't really flown alone before. That sounds bad. I had flown alone probably more than most people had at that point, but like I was dumb, missed my flight. I mean, it can happen to anybody, right? Like, just, getting the times wrong in your head. I was sitting there, you know what, here's the truth behind that. I was sitting there talking to 8-Bit Dylan in the airport you guys know Dylan. You know, I'm gonna link his channel. He's doing, this YouTuber Big Brother thing right now. So I'm actually in it, in his Big Brother series. He's doing in The Sims Big Brother with YouTubers, and I'm one of them. And he's a good friend of mine, and I was talking to him in the airport, because we were just, like, getting lunch and talking, and then I had in my head, like, all right, 1 o'clock or whatever, and so in my head I had the times wrong, and so we were just talking, and I was like, oh, you know, I gotta leave now, it's 1, but the plane had to leave at 1 too, because I had the boarding time wrong. It was, yeah, dumb, but it's all Dylan's fault. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Yeah, he's linked, though. I do like him a lot. He's a lot of fun. And you can watch his series. It's actually really good. He's a good pal and a good YouTuber, so you should check him out. I think he's getting really close to 100K. Hang on. Let's look at this. Let's pull it up. I'm Googling right now. 8-Bit Dylan. Oh my god, yeah, he's got like 99K right now. So 98,930. You guys, I don't know if we can get him there. That might be too much to ask, but you can, come on. Can we all go subscribe to Dylan and get him close? Because this is revenge for the flight thing, okay? Everyone go subscribe to 8-Bit Dylan. That's so funny. No, I mean, we probably can't get that many subs from one video, but you can all give him some support. Give him some love. Oh my god. It's a good series, let me tell you. But yeah, those are all my flight horror stories. I think I've told those other 2 a few times before, but this new one, about this like million-hour travel day and the Detroit airport, the stupid Detroit airport. I still just don't understand why I had to leave the plane, leave the airport, and then re-go through security. That doesn't make any sense. Why? Because last time when I flew internationally from the UK to Florida, I flew to Ireland and then a direct from Ireland to Orlando, and I had to do security in Ireland too. but like I didn't have to re-get my checked bag or anything. That's ridiculous. Like I had to do extra security at Border Patrol in Ireland when I did like went through US Customs in Ireland, but I didn't have to like get my checked bag and then re-go through everything. They just made me like walk through a metal detector again, basically. So I just don't understand why I had to get my checked bag again and then re-go through. It doesn't make sense. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not upset. Really, I'm okay. I'm still a little bit scarred by it. I'm just really tired and really upset, okay? I have one more funny story about my San Francisco flight that I left out because I am embarrassed by this, but on that same plane, the reason that, no, so because I was flying to Texas, you know another Simmer that lives in Texas? Sasha. Vixella lives in Texas. Okay, and at this point, I didn't know Sasha. I didn't even talk to her really at the event, and so I barely knew her, and I was very intimidated by her, and I was really worried about her being on my flight because I had missed my flight, and I was very ashamed of this. Still kind of am, but less so now. And so I was really concerned about like Sasha seeing me at the airport and like knowing that I missed my flight because dumb little me and my like weird, she can't know I missed my flight, I'm so embarrassed, like I didn't want to talk about it. And so I was actively avoiding Sasha in the airport that day because I knew she was gonna be on my flight. And so when we're all sitting there waiting for this delayed flight in San Francisco, I was like trying to hide from Sasha, okay? And we get on the plane, we board, and the whole time I was like, please God, don't let her see me. Please God, don't let her see me. And then she walks up and her seat is right next to mine. Like picture in the aisle, we both had aisle seats, and I was in like aisle on the left, she was on aisle on the right, and so we were right next to each other. Like, what are the chances of that? And the whole time I was like, please don't look at me. Please don't look at me. And then there she is right next to me. And I still didn't speak to her because I was too ashamed. And then she DM'd me on Twitter and she was like, are you sitting next to me on this plane right now? And I was like, yeah, I am. And that was just such an awkward, because I didn't know her at that point. We're friends now, and like this is a funny story to look back on, but at that point it was so, oh god, it's such a funny, embarrassing thing that I did. Like the whole situation that whole day was so bad. Like I sat in the airport for so long, and then I didn't speak to Sasha, God knows why. And it's funny times though, am I right, guys? Subscribe to Sasha too. I mean, you already know who she is, all of you. Like she's I don't know, but hey, I'll link her channel too because I'm an embarrassment. But yeah, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and cut off right here. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Oh man, we've spiraled a lot. I'm sorry, but make sure to go ahead and leave a like and comment and subscribe and do all those fun YouTube things. And in case you guys didn't know, I post new videos every single day, and so I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Oh, I talked way longer than I needed to just then because I forgot that my Premiere crashed, and so I just kept talking, and now it's been like 21 minutes, and I did not need to go on for that long. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm just rambling to myself for way too long. What is wrong with me?